If you don't know,
You want it? What can I say?
good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
It's Sunday. Grab your coffee, grab your questions, and we'll see what we can do.
And if you're real old fashioned, grab your Sunday newspaper. Remember those? The big
Yeah.
fat Sunday newspapers that came with all the ads and all the stuff.
My mom-in-law upstairs gets the Sunday paper every week.
Well,
We, one of the few, but
mm-hmm.
yeah, we had some terrible tornadoes come through. Huge damage, only like 15 miles away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a bunch of-
Oh, yeah, I forget it's that time of year.
No, it's not.
Huh?
It's very rare for tornadoes to come in the winter in Wisconsin area.
Well, in Texas, ours kind of starts from February until May.
Yeah. It's usually middle of summer. If you
Because
ever seen,
that's because you've been having a mild winter, basically.
yeah, a bunch of farms,
Ooh, that's bad.
lost buildings. One barn went down, bunch of roofs.
Mm-hmm.
There was I seen a picture of someone's Yukon had a post that went through the side of the doors.
Ooh.
It's like,
yeah,
there was no one died.
No one was injured.
Yeah, a lot of damage.
Do you know how Buster Keaton got his name?
Buster Keaton?
He was a comedian he was in silent movies, and he made it all the way up into the 50s doing movies. And he's if you saw his face, you'd go, that guy. He was a very sad face comic clown kind of thing. His parents were vaudeville actors, and his name was Chester or something. Anyway, a tornado hit the boarding house that they were staying in, and it blew it up, and they found Buster 2 blocks away in a tree.
Wow.
And they said, nothing can bust him, so we're going to call him a Buster. So he's Buster Keaton.
Diane says she reads the paper, but it's getting kind of thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
I actually bit the bullet, and they had a special sale, and I got a year's worth of the Dallas Morning Snooze on my computer, and it's not much. It's a couple dollars a month, because of politics, because you can't find out who's running around you,
Mm-hmm.
unless you go online and look it up that way. And I'm building a whole show. I'm going to do a whole show on how to research and places I know that they're for real. I mean, they've been there, they're established, they've been there a long time. You can find a lot of information. If you want a lot of information, you can find a quick glance information if you just want a quick glance. And it's set up for the whole US, so it's universal. You can click on a thing, give them your address, and they'll tell you who you can vote for in your primaries and your generals.
Yeah, I didn't even know last go around who. I mean, I think it would be bigger news, but my longtime state representative in my district was retiring. Didn't even know who was on the ballot. I assumed she was still running. Get up there to vote last go around in the primaries. It's like, who are these people?
Yeah, I know. And the other thing that gets you is sometimes in our primaries, they'll stick in propositions and, local things. And that's always a pain in the butt, because those things are so evilly written that unless you really read it carefully, you don't know whether your yes is a yes or your yes is a no. So.
Yeah, a little surprising. You'd think there'd be more notification of what's going on with your representatives.
That's what press was about, and we don't have it. And if you're like me, we have major stations in the city, but we also have, unfortunately, I have Spectrum cable TV. So every time I turn my thing on, it's turned to Spectrum. And Spectrum has a slightly more conservative point of view than I do on issues. They also sprinkle it in with lots of cute, funny stories, but
oops. I was just trying to star.
Okay.
Will Trump reincarnate? Be in power again? Most likely not, in a way you're thinking. I really don't think like evil people like that reincarnated again to do the same thing over again.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably at the end of their line of growth.
Mm-hmm.
Be this evil, and they got to work their way up to being a good person.
Well, they got to who's left in the party, and then the ones that are on the outside that are going to be fighting over the scraps of what's left. I mean, aren't they? Didn't Ronna, one of the reasons she left ostensibly, other than she wouldn't back Trump's election lies anymore, is that they're out of money, and they're out of money because she signed the agreement that allowed their money to pay his lawyer bills.
I seen they gave a bunch, yeah. That's hilarious. Kicking her out. We want, well, they got probably just a worse person. They want to.
No, they've got an election denier was part of the false electorate thing in North Carolina. So yeah.
I got your questions starred, Kevin Bridwell.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to
okay. We got plenty of questions to start with, I think. Who the heck? Okay. This would be a cold reading because no clue who this is. Is this
I do, because Angela's been sending me things. She's been going to political meetings and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So is this a presidential type thing, or
this is prime minister?
This is a prime minister?
And it's a three-way thing, and it's looked for a while like they were holding off the more fascist part of the Finnish population.
Well, it would be between three people.
But let's just take her. Alexander Stubb is winning. The way they vote, it's very, no American could do it. It's extremely strategic. I can tell you.
Alexander. So it's not as easy as predicting Biden or Trump.
Right, no. Well, besides the fact we know who they are.
It's a parliamentarians type system?
Yes, parliamentary system, yes.
So they're kind of hoping for like a
more neutral. Well, Finland just joined the NATO, so
yeah.
Oh dear.
So even if Alexander loses, he'd still be in government?
Huh? If what?
Even if he kind of loses, it just wouldn't be parliament or prime minister, you know?
I know, I understand the system sort of, but they can vote to throw out the prime minister, but the people vote to put in the prime minister. So if the prime minister pisses everybody off, then they throw them out.
Okay.
I'll tell you the card that sticks out to me in my 5, the hangman, nobody knows right now.
Election is today. He's been PM before. Okay.
Okay. What I see is the people who should have been working for him weren't working hard enough for him. And there's a lot of people who kind of see him as someone who could create the happy family, but he's got some very basic problems as far as people looking at his temperament. And then my next card is the hangman. It's like nobody really knows. And my out card is the Ace of Cups reversed, which means there's a lot of emotional feelings involved with this that make it even harder. I don't think as of right today, they know. people know in their own mind.
England said they're voting today.
Okay, well, then they're going to the polls very confused.
Yeah, I'm getting confused too, but my senses are like, that's why I'm kind of weird. Like, he feels like a champion, but I'm sensing like number 2, whatever that means.
There's no 2. There's only the first.
Right. But I don't know. It's, I'm just trying to think of this parliamentary, but it feels like a, multi-part system, It's hard to explain. I don't know for sure, but like I have some bad cards here too that tossing out. 6 of Swords is things getting calmer. 10 of Pentacles is contracts and things being good. But then I have the 3 of Swords, the Death card, but then the 9 of Pentacles. So it's kind of weird. It's like he wins, but he's got some problems. Death card is new beginnings, new situations. It's like he wins, but he's not the PM kind of feeling. So I have no clue what that's supposed to mean. Could it be he wins? He has no
the other guy, it is a 2-way race. I'm sorry.
It is only 2.
Another guy named, and don't shoot me, Angela. The guy's name is Pekka Havista. I don't know. If you saw what this spelled like, that's the best I can do with it. And they said it's their most high stake election, and this is in the Guardian. He's been leading in the polls. But the other guy is a member of the Green Party who's running as an independent. And apparently they've just narrowed it down to nothing. This is their second round of ballots because they narrowed it from 3 to 2. God, close. They're in the second round ballot, it was 27.2% to 25.8%. That's close.
That is close.
But and this guy even has a worse name. If I'm reading his name right, it's UC Halahuhu. That sounds like you got to be in Hawaii. Far right Finns. It's personal lives and attitudes. Yeah, it's coming back. And the guy with the strange name was gay. Oh, this must have been a fun election. He was 65 years old. He was surprised his sexuality become a public issue. Oh, well. Yeah, neither of the 2 guys that are left running would predict where they thought they were going to end up. So
England says they'll know today. The election ends in 2 hours.
Good.
Strange. Yeah, I don't sense a clear victory. I don't know. It's like,
yeah, I'm sorry, Angela. It happens.
I mean, I kind of get the image of him being victorious, but then I feel like number 2, whatever that means. So I don't.
Maybe the parliament is in such a different structure than he is. He can't get anything done. What is up with the a-hole special counsel, Robert Hur?
Yeah, he interjected.
Oh, yeah. No, first of all, what he did is extremely unprofessional, but he was trying out for Trump's AG.
That could be. Oh.
And it's not what's wrong with that a-hole. Merrick Garland didn't have to let it go out like that. He could tell them to strike that language. I want to know what the hell's wrong with Merrick Garland. And I have wanted to know. I felt bad for him because it took him so long to get him in position. And then I've always had the sneaky suspicion that Trump had really put more people, more jerks in the Department of Justice than we ever knew. and I've had a lot of sympathy for him. But up until this one just threw me over the ledge. Even Comey got called on this by Obama's people when he was there.
Yeah. So yeah, it was sneaky. It was sneaky language they shouldn't have done. So I got the devil next to his messaging in the report. It does feel like they want in his report he wanted to muddy him. Because I have Joe and the victorious one, kind of with Ace of Cups, and the heartfelt one, and the celebratory. He wanted to cut down his celebration of not being indicted. In a sense, it really doesn't matter because good will win over this report, and it's much better than it was, rather than a October surprise.
Right.
So yeah, it was sneaky because I do have the devil here in his messaging.
It was sneaky, but I think for any person who's lost a child or lost someone close to them, the crap he put in there about not knowing when his son died and stuff, I think everybody knows how compassionate Biden is about that stuff. And I think when Biden lost it at him and said, "How dare you say I didn't remember the day my son died?"
Yeah, that's pretty.
And see, the problem is some of those papers they found in the folders that were containing information about the details of his son's funeral. That's where the stuff was.
It feels like by some reason they're saying all over the internet and by some readers that Merrick Garland is compromised. It feels like Garland is going over bounds to be transparent.
Yeah, trying to be the not Bill Barr.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask if he's compromised, if he's really compromised some way, if there's something that they have beyond what I may not even live long enough to see the book that'll come out about it, but you know. Let's
just take it, objectively through the universe, because some people's emotions get involved, and get upset, and then they immediately say Garland's compromised.
Except my cards say that he is. And not just a little bit.
Can't be.
It's an illusion, delusion. He gets fed some information and doesn't look at it as critically as he should, because look what card is upside down, judgment. And he's easily flattered in his own weird way, and he wants to avoid conflict at all costs. And he thinks that his way of dealing with things is proper and correct, and he's a good workman. So they're playing on it. What I'm seeing is what I would read that as. They flatter him. They tell him do it this way. He's got some bad people in his ears.
Compromised.
So did your cards throw him under the bus like mine did?
Technically, no. I don't see the under the bus thing. Okay. I'll just show you what I see and what I'm getting from this. Okay. King of Swords comes out first, is him.
Okay.
And then I have the grief card. My 4 or 5 of Cups. It's about reflecting and grief and evaluating situations. Painful. And then the whistleblower, the speaker, the new idea. So him as Attorney General is giving him grief.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to do the best thing he can with messaging and what he does. There's some restrictions here. So I had the 8 of Swords restriction, and then my Duchess Star and the Ace of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
So the abundance is restricted. He's restricted from what he truly wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to be isolated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make sure he doesn't do anything that makes him in a bad light either way.
Right.
You know, he's just a center of the road type of guy. So his true passions of what he's hoping to do is all kind of messed up because of the 45. Mm-hmm. But he took on this challenge. In the end, I have the Page of Coins, my Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Cups. To me, it feels like in the end, it's going to be the right thing to do.
Right.
I don't see him leaving. I don't see him getting booted. He's taking the heat where he needs to take the heat.
Mm-hmm.
But he's being the center of the road guy for the country. So I think in the end, this karma is going to work out for him.
Okay.
I think it's all going to be justified when 45 goes to prison or whatever.
Well, I asked if the heat was coming from Biden's side, and I got no. It's coming from an angry person otherwise. It's not what sometimes is what Garland doesn't really want to do, but it gets the devil off his back. And in the end, the choices he's made will make him feel free, but his out card is the world. It's the end. He did the right thing.
Yeah, my Wheel of Fortune is the world Wheel of Fortune combined. It's like a combination of doing the right thing. You know, he could take. I did have female energy cards, so he could be taking some heat from Monaco or others that maybe want to do it differently.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels like he's doing the center of the road thing and trying to do things differently with all the outrage of the last administration.
Well, without the outrage, without the showmanship, without the, flamboyance, which is what they don't need. So, but compromised is different. It may be his own set of values that he's compromised by, but he's not getting the push from the Biden end.
Yeah, that's a good comment there. He's compromised by his own principles.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I sensed when I threw was like he was hoping it wasn't going to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a plan going in as the Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do things right, rule of law, change the direction of the business and how it's seen from the being compromised and horrible the last years before. But it's not playing out that way. You know, he's in a no-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
You got right-wingers screaming, you got progressives screaming.
But it's actually outside their rules of reports. If the person isn't, first of all, if the guy's not indicted, then they don't have to say anything except they're not indicted, and that's it. But the thing that was it was a personal characterization that actually says it in the rules according to Andrew Weissman that they're not allowed to do personal things. So, do we want to ask this? Was this approved by Garland himself, or was it another DOJ official that covered it up until it got announced?
To let I heard Biden said release it without any redactions. Did you hear that?
And he did what he was supposed to do.
I'm sure he didn't read it. Biden didn't read it all. He just, I think Joe won. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
Okay. Let's see if it was approved.
It was a brief clip of something I read that Joe said release it without redactions because I did nothing wrong. Well, maybe he was just doing what Joe said, and then
They didn't talk about Pence. They didn't put his report out publicly the same way.
Yep, you're right, Ann. Tornadoes are not normal in the winter. What does it card say about if Garland was approved?
Yeah, there was another person who pushed it through for approval in hopes of trapping them. And it was all planned, that the report was written that way, hoping it could get out that way.
Find the card, illusion.
Yep.
I think there was some miscommunication a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got my Biden card coming, wanting justice, but there was an illusion about something, about paperwork, and then finding out, oh crap, it's not as good as I hoped.
Well, what I got that was most telling was it was planted this way. It was planned this way. It was from the very beginning of when they started the report, they were going after him. So
yeah, it feels like it was slipped in like that. You know, it's like, I don't think it feels like Joe didn't know any of this was going to be in there.
Yeah.
You know, he just was talking off the cuff and, got angry, whatever, but he knew he didn't do anything wrong and he wanted to be transparent, unlike the former guy. And then
what I know is this clown has been looking at this since since almost Biden got in office, and he had to wait till 2 days after the Israeli war gets proclaimed to take 5 hours of Biden's time.
Yeah, that's right, Jane. Because I don't think this was expected. That's why Joe was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think this was done the way it was supposed to be done, and
it wasn't. I mean, that it's against their rules of how they release evidence. So,
according to my toss there, Joe didn't know this was going to happen, and that makes sense why he was so angry. Yeah. Isn't Garland out for back surgery? I didn't hear.
I don't know. We can ask the cards and find out that we're terribly wrong while they're cutting him open while we're saying they're not.
Yeah, if he's going for back surgery and not
working. Monica's in charge. Go, girl. Go, girl. You and Jack get in there and do it. I mean, are they putting a spine in or taking it out?
January 29th, Merrick Garland handed over duties to the Deputy Attorney General when he underwent back surgery.
Yep. And it's something that had trapped him and ensnared him for a long time, which back pain can do if you've never had it. And it was stopping him from being able to work efficiently. The surgery was very successful. It wasn't as long as they thought it was going to be, and it's going to make him back 100%. So maybe crap like this won't happen. It's unfortunate, but you got to move on. Outraging isn't going to do a thing, but I think it's going to be okay in the end. Yeah.
I still believe, if we both get the Wheel of Fortune and the World card, it means he's going to have a positive outlook, on his legacy.
And I also think for a lot of people, when they see that, they feel like it's a setup. They feel like, and it's just, and in that way, it's just red meat for their ever shrinking MAGA crowd.
It is shrinking. Nikki Haley is demanding a cognitive.
It gets met every day that he gets out and he speaks. I want Nikki Haley to have a cognitive test. You know, up until she ended up being the only person against Trump, he was an okay guy, and I definitely pardon him. Can we give her one?
What's that?
Can we give her one?
Yeah,
Cognitive test? Do you know what the word pardon means?
Yeah.
Because if someone's pardoned, they accept the guilt for what they did. That was the deal about Nixon getting a pardon.
Right.
It meant he acknowledged that he'd broken laws.
Yeah, Nikki's roundabout talking is a real trying to keep MAGA in her base.
Well, I hate to tell her, but they're not paying much attention to her.
Oh, let's see what the future is up with old Tuckums.
For Tuckums?
Much outrage. Him and Moskin.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Dorsey. I want Nikki Haley to get a real haircut. Funny.
How about if Nikki uses her real name? But then again, we don't make Rafael Cruz use his real name. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is he in trouble?
Should embrace who you are, but no.
Oops. Tuckums did it this time. His end card is the world, which is the sort of the end of everything. And it's because he wanted to walk away from a bad situation. He only made it worse. In the middle of this is justice. It's the world court that's going to want to come get him. They're going to want to talk to him about talking with Putin. Okay. It will not make his world happy. But he's going to escape it and ride off into the sunset and not get caught up in it. But yeah, they do.
You're kidding me.
What'd you get?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm just tossing now. Some reason he thought this was great for his career. No, it's going to be a failure.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought this was going to be great, going over to Russia and interviewing the fake Putin.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, decisions. What do I do? Six of Swords. This is going to be great for me and change my whole direction as a journalist and everything. Right here with the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
That's also the world for me. But this is going to end up a complete failure.
Mm-hmm.
His substance, his greatness of who he wants to be is going to be a complete failure and loss. It's going to lead to this could be sanctions. This is a money loss too. This could be something like that. I don't really get a boom on sanctions, but this is going to be a hardship and a failure for him. In the end, he felt like this was going to catapult him somehow, make him more money and advertising or whatever. Page of Coins is trying to take this new path, more money type of, substance.
Trying to get in with a new real thing, not his little.
Right.
No, not to offend the people who are YouTubers,
but this is also a failure. It's a loss of funds, loss of contracts, and then conflicts. He just created a worse scenario for himself.
Mm-hmm.
So being sanctioned could be, because I do have two cards that result in losses. Like money losses or loss of contracts or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this decision was not a smart thing to do. I read comments. Oh, we can trade him for Evan, the guy that's been the Washington Post guy, Evan Gershowitz.
Yeah. The guy was actually born in Russia.
Right, keep Tucker and we'll take him back. Yeah, it just feels like a huge failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe
Very little man.
they should send him home and force him to eat Swanson's dinners all day.
Okay, speaking of EU.
Okay.
The end of the EU, even the Dutch fishermen joined protests.
Well,
you were mentioning something that possibly could be over taxation or something.
it's over. We're about to have the same thing happen in this country. It's over how the producers of the food are compensated when the profits from selling food get to be so high, but the people who are producing the food are barely making it. It's all middlemen costs, and so in EU, apparently the European Union would tell them that they could only raise so many cows. I do know where cows come from. Could only raise so much cattle, or could only raise so much, or they would make them cull their crops and stuff so that they didn't get an oversupply, and they were trying to control it all that way. And of course, you know this better than I do, Scott. When you're farming, you can't say you're only going to get so many bushels of whatever. You might, and then next year you might not. So they've been playing with this stuff, and the farmers and the people who are really, really still working at all that are stopping it now. And some of I don't know about the sea stuff that's going on, the ocean stuff, because I know some of that's done to try and control the number of fish because they were overfishing. But we can just ask if the trade guarantees that the EU is creating between the nations could bring an end to the EU if it's in the food supply chain.
Yeah, I am getting huge losses of money here. The greed, the greed within the EU or whoever is hurting people here. So I have the chariots. That could mean like supply lines, movements, and whatnot. There's a greed in there of the average Joe, right? So we got the greed of
the producer as opposed to the supplier.
Yeah. So then I have an authority. Yeah, King of Swords is an authority figure. Doesn't feel like lawyer, but the person that has power over this. And then we got money losses and some kind of restriction. So there could be a need for different contracts here. It's like there's a restriction to do something because of contracts. It could be like a Biden thing trying to, his administration is trying to lower prescription drugs and everything. It just, I'm getting a contract kind of feeling of making things work. But in the end, or I just got a hit of like the unions, standing up for what's right, making, in the end, I have a feeling it working out.
Yeah.
Ace of Cups, my Duchess Star, and Knight of Cups. In the end, it feels like the workers and the greed will prevail.
Yeah, what I got was yes. No, my yes, no was 3 yeses and 3 no's. But the yes is that it comes from people making stifling restrictions on folks, and look who's doing it: the power, the emperor, and the people who were on the bottom just had enough of it. So there's going to be a rejudgment, a rethinking of how all this is handled, but it's not really sure who's going to be in charge of that yet. So it's a yes and a no, but it says that they're being listened to because judgment is coming in trying to lay it out. The mechanism isn't there yet, but I don't think it's the end of the EU.
I don't think it's the end of the EU. I mean,
I don't think it's the end of the EU, because if you think Europeans really, really want to get out of the EU, look at Britain.
yeah, Britain wants
And
back
Brexit.
in
Mhm.
because it hurt them so economically by getting out.
Mhm.
You lose your contracts, you lose your supply lines and everything. You
You
got
lose your ability to flow easily between countries. We don't think of that if you're in the contiguous 48. You know, you just drive across the border. As much as between Texas and Oklahoma, they don't like to admit that really happens. But
Isn't there a big wall between Texas and Oklahoma?
no, there's just a bunch of big signs. And
Jeff,
not only that, it's no offense, and I didn't grow up here, but it all looks the same to me. You can't. There's only a river in between.
okay. Where is it? Let's give Kevin his question here.
Okay.
Kevin,
About something I know nothing about. I would not buy real estate based on what I'm about to say.
I don't know. Go into a war zone, and I mean the air. Maybe the area is fine.
Oh, since it's a when question, since it's a time question, Scott, and I have my garden set up, I'm going to cut to my garden.
Oh, okay. Let me go back quick.
Okay.
Gino is saying, yeah, the flow of goods have been restricted. Oh,
okay.
Good. Okay. Take out of the scenario of all the fighting going on in those areas. You know, It can't be everywhere, you know.
Okay.
Maybe it's just borders. I don't know exactly.
Well, he wants to know, he has a when in that question about the real estate in Karachi, right? It says, is mine
different one.
And when? Okay, I'm gonna ask the garden, and for those of you who don't understand, this is winter, spring, summer, fall, and I'll go by where the stones land. What is the way to the when in your question? This is the only thing I have that can do whens. So it's fall into winter. There's going to be somewhat of a start in spring, and a lot of stuff's going to move and become visible. But this is the fall, and that's when this is the stone that in my crystals I call the body, and that's what's physically there. So this is money and mental activity and contracts, and this is when the spirit. So if it's going to be any time, you're going to be investing and figuring things out, and you're going to own it by next winter. So it would be a year from now.
I did a full spread with better cards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, we got Patience, the Emperor, and Six of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Signing a contract. I don't know. It feels difficulty this in a foreign country or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like there's like the government will want you to slip money or something kind of feeling. But Temperance is taking things slowly.
Yeah, I don't see it happening immediately. I think you're looking at a year.
Three of Pentacles can be a contract. Knight of Cups is getting what you want. Five of Pentacles is something about money issues. So you may have a taxation thing going on here that you might not be happy with. So they might throw in... these first few cards feel like make sure all contracts are up on the up and up.
Right.
Because it kind of feels like, oh, I'm going to buy this. It looks great. But then the fine print will say something like, well, you owe the government of Pakistan an extra $1,000 a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of feeling. Because I got the devil coming up moving forward here. The King of Wands, the great adventure and doing things, making sure you investigate plenty. Then I have the Power and the Devil. So original contracts and thought may have to change. In the end, Nine of Pentacles. That's making sure everything is in balance, everything is good to go. There might be a heartbreak. So like you may sign a deal and getting ready to, but then you have to change your plans. Then I have the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So that means like any contract should be make sure they're gone over well with Lady Justice and whatnot. So it feels very complicated. So the first go around feels like, no, it's not going to work. And then you're going to be heartbroken, but you're going to eventually do it later. So this is a long process. It feels like many years. I'd be very wary of any purchases or contracts without any kickbacks. I do get the feel that you could, but I'd be worried about any, like a money pit kind of thing. Because I'm getting a lot of worries about any contracts, you know, like there might be. But, you know, in here, we sign a mortgage, we have our price, but then you have property taxes, right? So it means like, oh, I got this great deal on this property, I got this house, but then all of a sudden the government charges you an extraordinary amount of money for taxes or something for living there, that kind of deal. So just make sure contracts are all on the up and up. But it does feel like a long time away, though.
No, I think it's a twinkle in his eye right now. It's a year from now. Do we want to do Tuesday's election in New York?
Did I start that?
You didn't. No.
Oh,
it's at 10:09.
That's too far to go back. Okay.
Because that's Santos's seat.
Yeah, I'll just write down
You may have gotten another question. I don't know.
I did see that. I forgot to. I missed starting it.
Do you want me to type it at the end and then you can?
I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
I remember long ago.
The person who asked is George. Thank you, George. It's a very good question.
I was gonna. I remember long ago. We were reading on, you know, the Congress, what's going to happen. You know, and I kept
thinking Hakeem Jeffries is going to become the Speaker of the House. Now, how the hell is that going to happen? They're down to 2 seats.
The energy is there, but you know, depends if it happens. So I remember seeing there was going to be elections in February, but unfortunately, I only see one. There's only one now.
There's also
one.
There's one in the one in Pennsylvania is the State House. So
okay, we got. Is it gonna flip or is it gonna stay Republican?
I asked if it was going to stay Republican, and I got no.
That's probably the best way. Just think of one way.
No. And people are going to be very happy when the answer comes through because it's going to be no and no. So it is not going to stay Republican.
I was reading someone who was following this or whatever. It's real close.
Yeah. Well, they're both going to fight like hell for this one.
Okay, is it going to stay GOP? Santos. I guess the guy that had it before is running again. Before Santos snuck his way in there. I don't remember names, but
it's a Democrat that was in there before,
right? And
obviously, I mean, you talk about asleep at the switch. I can't imagine where that campaign manager was. And Santos was doing all this stuff, and nobody was saying anything.
So yeah, I think that seat that Long Island ever moves on. Moves on from GOP and make things better. Cups are Democrats for me.
Mm-hmm.
Strength card of society. So it's
You see, Marjorie Taylor Greene had a hissy fit because some Democrat who'd been in the hospital was released and came into the Congress to vote, and she accused them of sneaking him in, and they're like, sneaking him in, it's his job.
She's a moron. All right, let's do our annual.
Oh.
Who wins the Super Bowl?
Okay. Okay. I can't do a either or. I can do a one or the other. So I'm going to ask Kansas City's.
Probably that's how they want to do it.
You're going to ask if Kansas City's going to win.
Does Taylor, the Swiftie energy going to bring up the KC? Let's do it that way.
It says no. It says that Kansas City, I got Kansas City didn't win. Though it's what a lot of people wanted to happen, but a lot of mistakes late in the game. What'd you get? And I could be totally wrong, guys, because I know about as much about this as I do about volleyball and balls. I don't.
Okay. A lot of hype about the game. There is universal Swiftie energy there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with this as Swiftie energy.
Okay.
My Empress Star.
Mm-hmm.
And all the yapping about this team, that team, and right and left there is caused some universal energy flow. They go kind of bad here. Okay, and then I have stress and burns, exhausted, restrictions, and then a King of Swords. So I get more of the energy of like good versus evil.
Oh shit! I hate that crap.
I mean, it's like instead of just having a hard fought out game, there's this other entity out there about right and left instead of two warriors. So we got this energy out here butting heads. So in the end, hard fought, the better team, but then walking away.
Something's going to happen and late in the game that's going to screw everything up.
According to cards, possibly KC's just dominating this game, but then something in the end may happen to blow it, like a couple fumbles or something, or interception or something like that. I don't know. My thoughts, because I thought about this earlier. The cards say KC may blow it, but when I was thinking about it and asking the universe earlier, because I knew it would come up, I was actually thinking it was going to be a blowout at KC by like over 2 touchdowns. But the cards today are saying, well, they may blow that in the end. So like they might have this big lead and then just a disastrous couple fumbles or something. So we'll see, but it feels like KC's going to run away with it first. Many people like, oh, I'm not watching this anymore. And all of a sudden you find out San Fran came back.
Well,
yeah, kind of feels like that. A rerun. We could put light bubble around the stadium. Hey, there you go. Put Swiftie energy around the stadium and get rid of that negativity. And then Kansas City will win. Only NFL and the refs know the outcome. funny. Mm. It's only close because they're cheating, and the ladies are running one and is the one that helped Santos. Oh God, she should have been in prison. Kansas City is the Taylor Swift side.
Yeah, Angela would not know. She's in Finland.
MAGA kidnapping? No.
No.
She's in Flight from Tokyo.
Are you kidding? As good a body movement as she has, she couldn't get rid of a bunch of Bubba Belly guys? Really?
I was looking for a movie to rent last night.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't really find anything, but what popped up was a 3-hour Taylor Swift.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, I had friends who have daughters that are that age that are taking them to it. Yes.
Yeah, they went a 3-hour.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't rent it. Okay. This is all important too. SCOTUS heard Article 314 Thursday. Everyone's talking about it.
I'm going to ask if SCOTUS is going to avoid its responsibility one more time.
I'll go back quick.
What?
I'm my grandpa, yes. Yes. My first granddaughter is 15 months. And in June, I'm going to have 2 more. Both my daughters are pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now what evil are we going to read on and get your grandchildren out of it?
Okay. First time Republicans are cheering on anything. Yeah. First time Republicans are cheering for San Francisco.
Yeah, they lose either way. They either lose to the Swifties or they lose to Pelosi. They don't got it. They
can't win either way. Yeah, the decision. Well, I guess there's 2 decisions actually they got to make.
Mm-hmm. So how do we want to? I mean, I listened to this thing. I actually got up at an indecently early time for me. Y'all, I sleep weird hours. So, and listen to them drone on.
Yeah, the questions, I listened to it too while I was driving. There, I had to pause it a few times, but while I went delivered. But anyway, the questions were definitely odd. Nothing really got to the point. It sounded like when the questions they asked, it felt like they were trying to see if there could be a way out with those questions.
What struck me as odd is all of a sudden, oh no, we can't let the states decide. It's a national decision. It affects everyone. And I'm sitting there. So is birth control. So is controlling your own reproductive rights. What changed? I mean, and yeah, it was an awkward little law. But what happened was the state took the awkward little law that they wrote after the Civil War to try and control things, and they wrote it into their constitution. If somebody does this, we can't elect them. And I just, okay. It's not like Trump's ever won Colorado, like he's going to win Colorado. Now, they were just concerned it could creep into states like Michigan or Wisconsin.
It's a non-sectional issue because states do, Florida in 2000, states do elect a president.
It's just what happened in the year 2000, but now we have to change all the rules again. Okay.
To me, it felt like it was just throwing questions out there to see what sticks. It doesn't. Nothing really went to the heart of the issue. So it doesn't feel like those are going to be legal standards.
No, I'm going to ask
the questions they ask, but what's the outcome going to be?
My ask is, what I'm going to ask is, will the Supreme Court surprise us by coming up with a broader consensus, or are they just going to drop it and say we'll worry about it later? But when I'm saying, will they surprise us? Will they come up with something that's functional?
Okay.
Well, like most decisions they make these days, I've got one yes and one no and two yeses and two no's. So it's a 3-3. And the way it reads out is they don't really want to make a decision.
Pretty much. Okay. I had the Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Coins, and the Strength card coming in first. This is always like the past position or current position. This is just telling me the law is clear. You have what's in the Constitution. You need to do the right thing. This is strength. This is Constitution. This is what it says. Wheel of Fortune is fate, karma, luck, everything like that. Ace of Coins is security, prosperity, the way it should be. Moving forward, I have the Court. Trying to do things to make things better for them. And then the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is clarity, awakenings, some kind of victory. There's power there. But they want to make it better. Six of Swords is how to make this better. In the end, I have a decision. Here's honor. King of Wands is all about honor, intelligence, courage. But they're not going all the way. It's a dark finishing. Knight of Coins is doing something of honor too, though. So they're going to do something of honor, but not all the way. So it's like a mixed read, a mixed decision. So basically, it's like, yes, he committed sedition or insurrection, rebellion, but we can't do it. It almost feels like they're going to throw it back to Congress.
Yeah. What they're going to say is Congress needs to come in and take that one action they said it hadn't taken so that states could have that right.
Yeah, something like that. It doesn't feel like it's a straight down the middle saying, yep, he's off. It's kind of like a wish-wash.
I'm more concerned about what they're going to do tomorrow when immunity gets put in front of them.
We can look at that too.
Okay.
Because I don't see them touching that.
I don't either. That's why they spent so much time writing it up. There's not.
Yeah.
And they didn't do any snark. They just wrote it up and just said, this is what it is.
Yeah, I've listened to a lot of people's takes, Andrew Weissman and Neil Katyal and others. To me, that feels like they're just saying, because of the questions, that SCOTUS said, oh, they're out. I don't think this is how this is going to play out. Because I think the questions were outlandish. They weren't getting to the heart of the point. It's almost like they're asking questions of a conspiracy type side. Right?
Right.
Because the point of the case is, yes, everyone said, yeah, he committed insurrection. Every place we went to, Michigan, Illinois, Oregon.
Well, I went to them and the people admitted what they signed wasn't legal. I mean, they were signing on forms that weren't the legal forms they were supposed to use.
And they had all those amicus briefs that they accepted. They have to take judgment into also. So of course, we all could be wrong, but I do not see it being 9-0 because it feels favorable, but they can't come to a consensus. Yeah, I kick them off, but but there's something about that last 2/3 of Congress. You know, they're going to say something about Congress because of that 2/3. You know, reduce the whatever you call it. You know, Congress can vote by 2/3 to keep them on, that kind of thing. It's complicated. It just like 9-0. Nope. There's got to be another judgment, you know, a remedy here, because they know it isn't. They know it isn't Colorado going to the Supreme Court to kick them off. This is how everything's done. There's a case. They see it. It comes from many different states. It's a ridiculous argument they were making about that only Colorado is trying to kick them off. They're just throwing conspiratorial questions out there.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of other states lining up saying if Colorado can do it, so can we. So anyway, okay.
Yeah, most of them said we'd kick them off for the main ballot. We can revisit it, but we can't kick him off of primary, which is ridiculous because ultimately he can't hold office. So why are you kicking it down the road, right?
Yeah, well.
So anyway.
Nothing new in that being crazy.
Immunity.
Look at immunity.
Immunity.
But that's not SCOTUS Section 3, Article 14.
I gotta remove it.
Okay.
Immunity. Immunity question.
Will they move it forward or bury? I'm going to ask if they're going to move it forward, because their other option is to put a certain kind of stay on it, and then they can carry it until next term, which would be in October of 2024. So I'm going to ask if it's going to be decided in time for there to be a trial this summer.
Well, after that hearing, they said that there's no business before the court until next Friday.
Well, they're going to appeal it on Monday.
Yeah. Okay. So I have my 6-8 of coins. It's giving and receiving. Ace of wands, ace of coins. Those are yes cards. They're energy and power, prosperity. That's okay. The decision to do the right thing is the way the aces in the coin here is lining up. Respect for law. Knight of coins. Tower is a failure in dark times. And here they're referencing January 6th. You know, the overthrow of a government. So yet with Section 314, they don't really want to do it. But here in immunity, they're saying, yes, do it.
What they're saying is he has no immunity.
Right, but the whole
saying law
is about January 6th, and so is.
Right. Well, he has no immunity, but it's not convicting him of it either.
You're right.
Okay. So.
Then I have the devil, the death card, Wheel of Fortune, and Ace of Swords. They don't take it.
They don't take it.
Ending, doing the right thing, Wheel of Fortune, Circle of Life, Ace of Swords is sort of truth. I don't think they take it because I think they don't approve or whatever they call that. They're gonna just say that the lower court stands.
Right. That's what I got. They're gonna say this law feels familiar and it holds on to the old truths. There's no way for them to hook themselves into it. There's a few of them that want to. They want to charge ahead, but they can't. And they're not going to try and steal the immunity. So the party's on, the trial's back on. So
it's ridiculous. Both cases are basically about January 6th.
Yeah.
And being a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to let one go for cert denied. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to get at. Thanks, Karen.
The word. We all went to law school for this, right?
Yeah. We're learning through Twitter and MSNBC about law school.
That's right. I'm going to take a quick break here, Mr. Scott.
Okay. 110. Okay. Does Biden want Garland out? I don't think so. This may be a redux of what we were talking before, but let's see what this says. Does Biden want Garland out? Am I still rolling? Yeah, I am still rolling. I don't think so. I'm not saying it. Rolling with him. There's conflicts going on right now, but in the end, Sun, Wheel of Fortune, Magician. These are all about power. These are all powerful cards. They're all major arcanas. Success, clarity, miracles, healing. So no, I don't think so. There is the conflict going on now, obviously. Government struggles, tower, but that's all because of 45 and their prosecutions. So there's work to do yet. Yeah, he did look pissed. But no, it feels like when I looked at the question, if he'll step down at 2025. What I heard in my head is he'll leave when the job is done. They got to deal with 45. When 45 is done, it could be then. But Garland will leave when the job is done. When he came to accept the job as AG to do. No one's going to push him out. They'll go when it's supposed to. Going off subject. Did you know that Judge Cannon's husband, Josh Lawrence, oh, good Lord. Imagine that. Mafia connections. Oh, that's right. Speaking, we should look at Judge Cannon. She's not doing so well. These orders. She wants to release all the information. Witness testimony. Who's going to be a witness and all that. Special counsel's fighting that one. That would not be good. Okay, let's clear the cards. Oh, will Melania show up? No. She's not getting paid enough to show up. Okay. What's going to happen here? Judge Cannon down there in the orders. Sure feels like she's trying to get herself kicked out. This is dangerous territory. Giving over witnesses and testimonies. Cannon is cheese dip right now. Okay. What's going to happen here with Cannon? Nope. Dark times. Oh. Volume. Now the volume's not there. Yep, dangerous people, Earth Mama. Okay. What I got? Volume up?
It's on.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Are we talking about my favorite South Florida judge?
Yeah. What's going to happen here with she wants to release everything.
They don't do. So.
Okay. I got the Earth Mother card first.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Coins. Resources. Being patient. Then the King of Cups. Doing the right thing. And then the Hermit. So we got a foolish card here surrounding. So documentation, doing the right thing, and being foolish. That's all that's saying right now so far. But then we have a failure point and going through a dark time. And Jack Smith has got this one. He has the upper hand in what's going on here.
Right.
So I got 10 of Swords, dark times. Jack's got the upper hand. In the end, I think he wins this scenario. The Queen of Swords, wishes fulfilled, and then the Knight of Wands. Sure feels like if she continues this path, he's going to appeal the 11th Circuit, and he'll win this. So it doesn't really tell me exactly what's going to happen here, go on, because it's just talking about chaos and doing the wrong thing. But I got Jack Smith wins this round, however it plays out.
Are we asking if her husband has connections to the mafia? Because he has in the past.
Well, that's already been talked about, yes.
Okay, it's done. He still has communication with them. It's not over yet. And he gets advice from them. So yeah, he's still connected to whomever gave him the money to set up his restaurants. But
good Lord, these people.
Well,
obviously, it must be more.
If you were part of the Colombian mafia and you're going to support some guy, wouldn't you want to support a guy that you could put in a judge in place that could help you?
True that. Did I see the Jason Kelsey dip commercial? I don't think so yet.
No.
I watched the college basketball yesterday, and my Badgers got whooped.
Oh.
They're running their way out of the top 25.
Oh, dear.
They're not playing well. There you go, Lois. Fire the cannon. She's heading that direction. It's all up to her and how she wants to act of a judge. She can use this.
I'm just going to flat ask, will she sit for that trial? Will she sit over that trial? And if it's a no, then she's gone, right?
Well, 45 kicks a bucket, he'll never make trial.
the other solution, but it's not as satisfying because then he'll be a martyr and he'll voice, if he'd only lived to talk. He could have told us all about how they're changing the name of Philadelphia. I'm sure the people sitting in the Philadelphia audience were going, what?
45 is a crazy person.
No, she's not going to sit for it.
Well, I heard Gannon be sitting
for the trial. And I got no because of stuff Jack Smith does, because she wasn't ready for the job. That's like a queen or a king would be a judge. A page is just someone who knows the rules. And this is the I'm out of here card. She's gone. And new energy is going to sweep in that's going to be fair. And there's going to be arguments about how it happens, but she's not going to be sitting on that trial.
Oh, I got strange cards. I mean, she's in a no crap moment.
Mm-hmm.
Her strength is gone. In support, I mean, I have two good cards, but in the middle, I had the old crap moment of she's doing the wrong thing. Oh crap, losing everything. But it's like I said, it's kind of weird to have two good cards surrounding a bad one. So she's doing the wrong things. And then moving forward, I have prosperity, Ace of Coins. I got the Empress Star with the female energy and creation, abundance, and the Queen of Coins again, with a little bit of patience. But then I do have new energy coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I have Jack Smith going to a panel and creating new energy.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack Smith, King of Cups, can be that panel, 11th Circuit or something, and then ushering in new energy with Ace of Wands. I guess there is no card created for you're out of here.
No, I have the eight of Cups. I'm gone. I'm taking what I got, and I'm leaving.
Oh, you had the Eight of Cups.
Yeah,
there you go. I didn't have the Eight of Cups, but
that's my I'm out of here card.
Yeah, I only had the old crap.
Okay, well, I can tell you what her next response is. I'm out of here.
It's all up to her. I always felt that was a karmic choice for her. If she makes the wrong choice, she'll be gone. She could be. It doesn't feel like she wants to get kicked off. It feels like she's just there to obstruct the.
I think she's not going to do anything bad enough to get impeached.
Yeah, it feels like that.
I've done what I can do. I've stalled it as far as I can. According to most legal experts, that case already should have been run. So.
Well, what was the original date? Wasn't it like December?
Yeah, but then then she stalled on how people could look at the documents they needed to discuss.
For November. This verdict will delay it further. We'll get into. Oh yeah, if she's booted off, yeah, it'll definitely delay the trial more and more and more.
No, not necessarily. If the other judge can walk in and say all the legal guardrails have been met, they can just go ahead.
True, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know anything about this, how that plays out. It's just kind of like you think when you get a new person in there, you have to start all over again and get refreshed, but get caught up. Yeah, my ass has been putting out quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
It feels just like dumbassery on purpose. Kinda, yeah.
It's very purposeful dumbassery. There are ways things should move, and
yeah, that is not. The current energy does not feel like it's going to happen before the election on that J6 one.
No, on J6, I think it will.
I mean, The documents.
Documents should have been the first one to go. And of course, documents would be the easiest for people to understand. Except apparently for the people who think that Elon Musk should help the Russians.
He probably should have done the same thing and not charged co-conspirators. You know what I mean?
Well,
J6, he only charged him and listed co-conspirators. But it made things more complicated with Nauta and De Oliveira added to the case.
No, what their problem in Florida is the nature of the documents. You know, it's state secrets. You just can't, and they're not working with other people on the other side that are trustworthy. So, and they've got to try to let it look like they let the lawyers see what was going on. And it's just picking through the papers and saying, nope, absolutely not. This is not going, what do they call it? Going out into the wild when it's not in a controlled environment. Mm-hmm. It's just a mess.
Yeah. So if SCOTUS kicks out an immunity charge, it can go mid-May. Mm-hmm. J6 could go by mid-May if they kick it out. If for some reason we're wrong here, then we're up close to the election. Mm-hmm. if SCOTUS wants to hear the immunity case. Okay. Anything else?
I'm looking.
Does Biden want to go ahead? I looked at that. Oh, Ronnie Jackson is a moron.
I don't want to go into Ronnie Jackson's energy because I want to come out sober.
Yeah, he's not good.
Yeah, people, please go thumbs up. And it's still true for us. You'll hear other readers say it. More than half the people who watch our shows don't subscribe. I don't know how they find us, but they don't subscribe. So your subscriptions are helpful in several ways. They help not just our algorithms, but it tells us how many people are really out there.
I give up on algorithms.
They can make them do whatever they want.
YouTube's a platform and they own us and they can do whatever they want.
It's true.
Let's just throw out some inspiration. It's already 1:20.
All right.
I'm not even going to shuffle this. I'm just going to randomly cut.
Oh.
Wherever I feel it'll stop. What three want to come up today? Oh my God, all feminine energy today. Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the High Priestess.
It's going to be a week with the girls.
Mm-hmm. Mother Nature. I'm getting a feeling of Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to Mother Nature. Okay. Queen of Swords is kind of, it's the regal one, the lawyerish one, the powerful one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more about being strong and self-sufficient on your own terms.
Mm-hmm.
Letting go of things that don't serve you anymore. Queen of Cups is listening to your heart. Being emotional and supportive and intuitive. And speaking of intuitive, we got the High Priestess.
Uh-huh.
Trusting your intuition. So listen to your heart. Let go of people and things that don't serve you. And then the High Priestess will come in, your intuition. Letting go of things that don't serve you.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, I got a woman running and it says, focus on your health. And but when I pulled it out of the deck, it was reversed. And this is one of the only oracle decks I know where they read the reverse. When inverted, this card suggests it's important to consider changes that may lead to a healthier experience. You might need to make adjustments to your diet, find ways to get more exercise, release yourself from addictions. It's important to have a more mindful approach about your physical being. And the colors that are part of this are red and green. The color red highlights the energy exchange with those around us and a gentle reminder that you cannot pour from an empty cup. The green energy connects us to our life focus and helps us recharge our energy battery. And I would take that to mean that right now it's kind of winter. We're past the holiday seasons. Everybody's already done all their excess I'm going to change my life attitude that they've had. But now is the time to really think about not clinging on to all this crap we watch all the time. And to think about other things. And it'll soon, where I am, it'll soon be warm enough. You can go out and plant a couple plants or do a little bit of stuff outside. It's going to begin to warm. So I would suggest that people not obsess on the extremes of the political world, because it's going to do what it's going to do, you know.
Right. Never obsess about anything.
Yeah, if you sit worrying about it, it's like, anyway, just take care and look at other stuff. Look at real estate in Karachi, Pakistan. I mean, think about something different and see where the world goes.
The message to Kevin, talking about this home and his friend in Pakistan and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I saw, Alpha. He's going to, by spring and summer, he's going to know where he's heading. A lot of negotiating in the fall, and the contracts will be done by winter.
Yeah, take time. Don't rush into anything. See, I went like I said with the whole court case hearing. I'm like, yeah, these questions are really weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking, why are they asking these questions? To throw the way I was getting it is like to throw out the nonsense. You know, we're going to throw out these questions, see if anything sticks, if any logic to it. I don't think they're legal binding kind of questions. So,
well, they're about what the law. The guys write their opinions and they say it implies this, or we read this in it. They try to read what might be the other interpretation of it. That's why listening just, they could ask a question and it sounds really horrible to us, but then it'll show up in the opinion that it was really headed in the right direction.
Yes, I wouldn't worry about that. Everything will play out, but like I said, we all said it really stinks that all this delay is available to him when no one else in society would be able to get these delays. Nobody.
Yeah,
he'd be in prison waiting sentencing in the documents case it was anyone else.
I know.
My Nancy asked me that question too when I showed her something. She's like, why the heck is that guy not in prison?
And we don't have a
in prison. And what was it? Was it Venezuela or Brazil? Brazil. Wasn't it Bolsonaro? He's banned. He's banned already. They took his passports.
Oh yeah, they did that the last week. He can't go anywhere.
Yeah, he's banned for the J6 they tried to do, and took his passports, and he's on lockdown. Not our guy. We gotta treat him like a little baby, like he did nothing wrong. It stinks, but we have no control.
No,
we have to stay grounded, look at the facts, and let it play out.
That's true.
Yep, and go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs, and Find something fun to watch. There was a comment in here about someone how much they enjoyed Tracy Chapman's performance in the Grammys.
Mr. Accordion Hands.
Yes. And, find those things.
I have the best hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the teeny tiny accordion hands.
All right. Yeah, find something different to watch. Enjoy your day, get some snacks and watch a little football and just chill.
Yes.
Be good.
Have a good weekend. Have a good week.
Bye.
I'll be on Tuesday. Bye.